Hey everyone, we are back. We are back. It's been a few days. What has went on for the last few days? Anything exciting? Have we seen any rocket ships to the moon? Have we? I've been fascinated with the whole purple stuff, so that's what maybe we'll talk about that a little bit later too. But I've been very, very interested in that, and boy, that those charts looking pretty nice, and that tech looking pretty cool. Coming out Friday, ICOSA burning protocol coming out Friday. Very excited for that as well. So if you don't know about the Permabull stuff, I got a playlist on the channel. Check out Permabull, the protocols and stuff coming out. Trying to think what else the last few days. Yeah, it's been relaxing a little bit, enjoying life. It's almost summertime here, so but we gotta stream this. So we got to stream today, and then we'll see. I definitely have. We got the Pulse. I'm sure Maddie's gonna talk about the PulseChain conference and stuff this weekend, which I'll be speaking at as well on Monday, as well as having a birthday stream with Axis as well. So that should be fun. Anyways, hopefully got some good content for you. Talk about security today in a very entertaining and hopefully educational light. Kind of covered some Axis the other day too with the 340K hack that happened and stuff. That was actually a really good stream overall, and also I clipped it out, and that's a good kind of a case study stuff as well. But yeah, I'm very excited to get the chat in just a minute when we get these gentlemen in. First up, Manny Allen and Fast Abdul's back. How's it going, gents?
Hey,
we're live. We're here. Yay.
how's it going?
Hey guys, good to see you.
Security showed up. Security, take them away. Tackle them now.
Yeah.
No. No violations. No violations. I was telling Maddie in the green room too. The last time, I mean, it's been a while since we had just a stream, just us two together. But when we had that, he was telling me about the millionaire cat story, and it's like I remember somebody in the chat was like, "You broke RHMax. You broke," because I was like, "Crack." I'm like, "How? Hold on, wait. Is that? Am I understanding correctly?" It's just amazing story. Everyone search RHMax millionaire cat. I'm pretty sure it'll come up if you search that. And that's me and Maddie talking about it.
That's right.
Amazing. And
dogs aren't the only ones that get love in crypto. Yeah.
I think you had the similar tagline back then. It's like, you know what? Dogs get a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of Doges, a lot of Shibas and stuff, but boy, this cat made it. He finally made it. And we got full dressed security guard in the bottom. Fast Abdul, do you just own a costume? Are you own a costume store? Do you just have like a discount code? Do you just keep that as normal casual wear?
I like to, just go out on a regular day. You walk around wearing like, military-esque security gear, and people just treat you a little different. It's just, you might think I have a self-esteem issue, but that's possible. Actually, I could have a self-esteem issue.
It's in the North, you can do that. In America, I'm like, I could just imagine, you sling I don't want to say the word, but you sling one of those protector devices and walk around in neighborhoods is like all the news stories I see with people dressed as such as yourself to protect defense, right? But
right.
maybe you have bats. Bats aren't illegal, right? You have bats. Probably knives are illegal at this point, I'm sure. It's a worldwide phenomenon, but you got some batons.
Yeah, knives are totally legal. You can have a sword in Canada. You can't have any weapon of any description to carry for the purpose of self-defense. So I can carry around like a two-handed longsword, but if I'm carrying it around for self-defense, that's not okay. All right. But I could have it. It's okay. I could have it to fight bears and dogs, to chop down trees. That's fine. Right. So,
okay.
But yeah, guns.
It looks like it works in industry. So you could have an axe. You could carry around an axe as long as, the alibi is I was going to chop down some trees.
Yep. Yeah. Solid.
Okay. Interesting. Shout out to our friends up north and across the pond as well. Maddie, any commentary on? We went into security.
Yeah, I just I use cryptography as my self-defense weapon.
Nice. Well, if we want to do a Canadian joke, we'd be like, well, if you were going to use it for anything else other than defending yourself, you could use it, but not allowed.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. So physical security, one thing. I know you guys. We'll get into 2FUCs and stuff as well. I know there's probably some updates there. But I'm actually, maybe we should start with just in general what you all been seeing. I know there's, we saw the hack the other day. I mentioned in the intro that me and Axis talked about it. And I actually put in hopefully some good advice there as far as security goes. That's my background as a professional and stuff too. So I've got blogs, I've got security playlists and stuff like that. And don't click the links. Update your browser. All all the stuff that nobody wants to do. It's the easiest stuff in the world to do. Nobody wants to do it. Hardware wallets. Everybody has heard that before. But what do you guys? Whoever wants to kick it off, like what's been going on? What have you guys been seeing? And like what is some of the important stuff to talk about around security right now?
Well, maybe I could hit up the stuff that's relevant to Telegram, which is where I spend a lot of time. Maddie's probably more of an expert on the hardware wallet stuff than I am. But in Telegram, I'm a admin in about, I don't know, 9-10 Telegram rooms. And so I see the scammers come and go, right? Like I ban them or I'll, interact with them. I have like fake Telegram accounts I use to draw in the scammers so I can find out who they are and kick them out of the rooms. I'll say things like, oh no, I transferred 7 ETH, but I haven't received it yet. And that usually gets like, I get sometimes a phone call in 10 seconds or 2 or 3 phone calls. They'll be lined up like, when one guy hangs up, the other guy's waiting to tell me what to do with my 7 ETH or how he can help me, that kind of thing. So I think there's some pretty simple tips for new people, but even there's things that I've caught like old people, like pros, influencers, even doing that they don't understand that they're doing with their Telegram, how much information they're sharing with the public, for example. So if you don't mind, I have some images I'm going to share here that will.
I like images. Let's do it. I mean, good images, right?
Well, you'll have to see.
Okay. Well, we're going to roll the dice.
There it is. Okay. So image number 1, do we have that up there?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So I'm going to zoom in on this a bit if we can. So this is like just your Telegram account, right? And people don't understand how much information is revealed to the public. Now here I've put this green line over where my phone number was because this is, private information. But generally speaking, a lot of people can see your phone number depending on what settings you have on your Telegram. The big thing is that you have to go into where it says privacy and security here and change the settings so people can't see your personal information. Can't do things like add you to private groups or even contact you, like send you a private message or what we sometimes call a DM without you knowing them. Like all those things are in the settings and you can control it right off the bat. And you can save yourself so much trouble if you just set these settings to maximum. Here, I'm just going to pick up the next one here.
Yeah, doesn't Telegram share your phone number by default or something like that? Is that what it is?
It depends on how you have it set. So the here, the next screen I'll show you will tell that tale.
That's usually the first thing I remember when I first got Telegram, I was like, hold on, is this thing public? Like, do I need to flip something? Like, it's not even clear a lot of time. Maybe they've improved the new sign-on methods and stuff. But when I first got it, I was like, what? Let's go. No, I didn't even use like a real phone number, I don't think either. But it was just like the fact that was happening, I was like alarmed. Okay.
Totally. And and a lot of people are doing this stuff without knowing it. So there's different categories like share your phone number, right? And then it gives you the options. You have to click on that category and you have to pick to share your phone number with these people, or no one. So, and I think as a safe concept, just click nobody unless you have a very specific need. Like, if you're using Telegram to sell real estate, like maybe you want to share your phone number with your contacts, but why you would share it with everybody, like, which is the default, is beyond me. Like that's a terrible plan. So don't share your phone number with everybody. And then what I have this on right now is for calls, like who can call me. Now on this account that I took the picture from, I have it set to everybody, but why not have it set to just my contacts, which means somebody either that when I imported Telegram, I'm on my desktop all the time. So on my telephone, they'd be set as my contacts, or in Telegram, I would have added them as my contacts, like a trusted person. I made that decision at one point in time. I'm okay with them calling me, but why not just have it set as nobody unless, unless you have a specific need? Because like if Telegram is your telephone and you want people to be able to contact you, maybe that's different. But if it's not, your friends have your telephone number, they can call you, right? And as far as displaying your phone number, and I'm going to pull up the list of the full gamut here of all the things that you have a choice on. As far as displaying your phone number, like why would you display your phone number even to your contacts unless you have a specific business need? Like your friends will have your phone number. I don't see a particular reason why, you couldn't just share it with somebody else if that was important to you. So here's the list of things that you have to choose from. And these are the important ones. So we'll touch on the top here in a sec, but in the center here on the privacy options. So first you have to press that privacy tab. Then you go here. Who sees my phone number? Well, I have it set to nobody because I don't want anybody to have my phone number unless I choose to, at which one I can give it to them. This is another interesting one that is, I've made the choice of nobody. Last seen online. That means people can tell the last time you're on Telegram. Whenever you make a message in a chat or something like that, they can actually look at your profile and see the last time you were there. Now, that's not directly related to security, but it is your privacy, and you could choose to have that there or not. Profile photos, for me, it's everybody because, I'm sort of a public character, or Fast Abdul is, and that's fine. The same with the bio. Just make sure you understand what is in your bio, because that's very relevant to, is it private information in your bio? It shouldn't be, like, ever. There's no particular reason, but if it's just your favorite colors and which cryptocurrencies you like, you could have that in your bio if you want. Date of birth. Now, you can see here, I've failed and have it set as my contacts, but I don't actually have my date of birth in Telegram in any place whatsoever, so it displays nothing.
Don't you want people to wish you happy birthday? It's very important.
Yeah, is it?
I like to be wished happy birthday.
That's a nice idea, but is it as important as your security?
Like, are they? Is it more likely they're going to wish you happy birthday or use that as part of the pieces to put together for identity theft? Probably the latter if you don't know them.
I think so. Yeah, a strong chance. Now, of course, you could set this to my contacts. Like if Telegram is a central source of your social life, and you want your contacts to know your birth date, that's cool. Of course, you put in your own birth date. You could put a false birthday. You can play all kinds of games there. Personally, I don't have my birthday in there, and if I did, I would have it set to probably nobody, or at worst my contacts. But definitely don't set it to everybody. That's a terrible plan. Forwarded messages. That's just if people forward your messages, they can see your name on there. That's not a big concern to me. The calls we talked about, right? So like, who can call you? Like, who do you want to call you on Telegram, right? Like, not very many people. Like at most, I would say you want your contacts to call you. Now, I have it set to everybody, and that's so that, like when I am doing business, people can contact me, but it's also so the scammers can contact me so that I know that they're scammers. But that is not the route that most people should take. You should definitely not allow everybody to call you. Just set to my contacts. And if you want to have a conversation with somebody, add them to your contacts, and then they can call you, right? That seems like a safe choice. What do you guys think about the calls on Telegram? How many of those do you think are scams versus your buddies trying to get a hold of you?
Yeah, I mean, lots of scammers out there. I like it when I can call people who are like speakers at the conference, but a lot of people have it turned off for good reason.
Totally. Yeah. I think, and if you're new, turn it off like all the time. Now, this is one that I think people don't understand: groups and channels. This is who can add you to groups and channels, right? So, and this is where a lot of scammers will make a fake Telegram room. So they'll make a fake Telegram room for something like, let's say, internet money, which has totally happened before. And if you come across such a thing, report it and block it, etc. But if you have this set to anybody, that means anybody or everybody can add you to any group or channel, right? So a scammer can come along, make a fake channel for Power City, for internet money, for liquid loans, for something that's good that you trust, add you to it, have all the fake information, all the fake links in there for you to click. Usually you'll see them adding hundreds of thousands of people when they do such a thing, because they know they have a limited window before they get reported so many times that Telegram pulls them down. You'll see on the top of the screen, it will usually say report as spam and leave is one of the options if you get added to a room like that. But like, don't have it set to everybody. It's just even me, I've been added to rooms on like my other profile. I have set to everybody, my fake scammer hunting profile. And I'll get added to rooms. I'll be like, oh, what's this? Oh, I didn't know these guys. And then I'm like, oh shit, it's a scam.
Yeah. I think this actually happened to me the other day. I was confused. I was confused. The channel I was in, it's like another channel appeared it looked like the same name, and it got taken over by spam and all this stuff. So what I thought happened was the official channel got taken over. I was messaging people, hey, the admins, because I think I'm admin, but I don't think I created or whatever. But I was like, because it's our local Telegram meetup group and stuff. And I was like, hey, can, it looks like the channel got just taken over, you guys like, somebody gonna fix it? Like, what's going on? And then they like, are you sure? Like, everything looks fine. And then they add it, they like at, RHMax on the channel. And I actually saw the difference. Like, oh wow, they actually copied the messages before. They made it look like all the pinned messages were the same. So I didn't interact at all. I don't even know what it was for, because the entire thing turned into spam. So I don't even know what the point of the entire thing was. But there was another channel that looked like a channel I was in before. That made me think errors have been taken over, but it actually wasn't. And I just like left or deleted or whatever, and then it went away. But yeah, funny enough, that happened the other day. So it's probably even more common for.
Yeah, and if guys like us can get like, caught up in it even for a second, and we know with the like clicking links and stuff like that, it can only take a couple seconds to like click and approve in a wallet, and man, then your wallet is clean, which is not desirable in this case. So I think that's it's a consideration that even if you're a pro, if you're looking at Telegram at 2 a.m, you're kind of tired, like maybe you should just have these all set to nobody. And when we look at even the things that seem quite like innocuous, right? Like, let's say this last seen online, I have it set to nobody, and that means you can never tell when I'm online. It doesn't show a little blue ball beside my name when you have my account up on your screen, right? I can tell often when people add me as their contact, because all of a sudden that person I can tell when they're online. And just for example, I can tell, like, if I look at Matty Allen or RHMax, I'm pretty sure you guys have added me as a contact, because I can tell when you guys are online now. And I don't think I could before. Am I right, guys?
I need to turn that off. I don't know why you know that information.
That's why.
This is Telegram. Wake up with your security settings. Wake up right now.
Nice try, Fed. I'm not answering.
Yeah. There you go. See, he's smooth. He's smooth.
Yeah. So that's the general concept here, right? Is that people are gathering information about you, and if it's somebody like Fast Abdul, probably you'll be okay. But like scammers, some of the scammers are smart, right? And there's different tiers of scammers, and the interactions I've had with them have been varied, from guys who clearly are incompetent or don't speak English at all, or are using some sort of translator, to guys who are willing to go on a video chat with you and have a fake video avatar that looks like a real person, probably of European descent that you're supposed to trust for some reason, that isn't real, but they can make him raise his hand and stuff like that. When you're like, put your hand up, and they can do it. I've seen it. But then the voice doesn't work. There's something wrong where, let's go back to typing because it's not working for us. The other one I think is hilarious. And this is another one that I've caught several known influencers on, is this phone number thing. If you have this set to your contacts, that means when you add somebody to contact, they can see your phone number, right? And I know that several influencers, they've added me and I can see their phone number, and they either don't know, or they were surprised. And I've done things like sent them personal texts, at appropriate times that say things like, let's talk bribes. And then they're like, what? Who's this? They know who it is. But that alerts them that like everybody can see that. And, I even had one conversation with, who I won't mention, but with an influencer that's a young lady that added me as a contact. Her phone number's there. And I was like, you probably don't want your phone number on the screen, right? She's like, what do you mean? You have my phone number? I was like, yes, I do. You have to turn this setting off, right? And to her, that was like scary that she was giving that information away, and probably had given it away. Like, if she casually added Fast Abdul as a contact, she'd probably done it hundreds of times already, right? So I think knowing that you're giving that information out, and that nefarious characters, maybe you think you could trust them, but then you can't, but they already have that information. So it's a pretty serious consideration to go through these. If you're not sure, say nobody.
Yeah. There's no benefit in giving out a lot of information about, many things. And just on that, I want to give a pro tip here too. At the device level on your computer, especially if you're using Windows, for example, you can turn off, if you don't want to like do voice chat or video or none of that stuff, you can disable the device. Like at the at the hardware level, at the device settings and stuff, you can literally tell, I assume Windows at this point, tell Windows like, do not enable device. So no matter what, nobody can call you, nobody can like, put you in a situation where if you click the wrong button, you turn your account, like all that stuff. There's ways at the device level you can, like, even further than the Telegram settings, that you can turn stuff off to make sure, hey, Telegram can't even do this because I've turned it off with, admin privileges and stuff. There's a question here too, or a statement, I should say. We're committed to stopping scammers, and you have a ton of Telegram groups which allow anyone to be DM'd if they use the free version, stop using Telegram. I think Fox had a previous comment about Telegram being trash and otherwise, and some of the features only being available to paid users. I will say, I'll just preface it with this. I don't use Telegram a lot, but actually I watched the CEO interview with Tucker Carlson the other day. I recommend everyone watch that. It is super, super fascinating from a privacy perspective, from just like a principles perspective. They're like located in Dubai for all these reasons. And it's very, very interesting. Anyways, the guy is super sharp, super smart guy. I actually like a lot of the principles that he goes by, and a lot of the, like he's trying to make, stay out of the geopolitics and all that stuff too. However, I avoid trusting any app on devices that I'm like, either personal devices or otherwise. I try to keep things segmented and separate stuff for different things and all that stuff too. But I think the reason people use Telegram is because it is useful. There's a reason that all kinds of people are growing numbers, like just the numbers just off the charts. You listen to the CEO talk about it, he's like, their growth is just crazy. And it's because it enables people to have conversations, run teams, especially in crypto. It's like the perfect tool for communication. A lot of people use it for it too, events, all that stuff. So it's like,
it's encrypted. It's one of the most encrypted forms of communication you can get right now.
So they use encryption that's like specific and like, tries to be more NSA proof and world government proof and all that stuff. So there's a lot of advantages in using it. That being said, there are a ton of scams. Like it's like the ideal place. It's like the internet. I kind of think about it as like, an analogy is like the internet. Like it's an amazing thing that enables all this stuff. It enables all the positive stuff and enables a ton of just like negative stuff, a bunch of scams. Like how many more people have been robbed because of the internet, but how many more people have like built businesses and lives and careers and wealth and stuff on the internet. So it's one of those, to me, it's like a double-edged sword. So anyways, I'll preface it with that, but what do you guys, and fast just got rugged. Boom. I guess to Maddie.
Here, I'll say one thing about Telegram. If I was trying to plan a conference on Facebook or on whatever apps people use these days, I would have to beg the permission of a middleman. I would have to suck middleman D in order for my message to get to the people who have agreed to communicate with me. And this is like a major problem in the world, is like on every major social messaging platform, including email. Email used to be where if you gave somebody your email address, then you would be able to get a message from them. But now the government and Google and all these like advertising companies, they all want to decide now whether something is spam or not. And they want to decide whether people are allowed to communicate. And it's not up to you anymore. So I like Telegram because it's up to me and the people who connect with me on Telegram. It's up to us whether the message goes through or not. And it's not up to a middleman.
Actually, just this comment to Telegram has come for paywalling DM. I don't think I use the premium version, and I do get DMs pretty regularly from random people, and I just delete them. I don't even look at them. I just delete them. They're always like, "Hey, how is this group treating you?" And I'm like, "Okay, how many times are you gonna say it like 1,000 times? Like, how do you not like mix it up and like try to?" Again, I'm glad you're not trying to scam harder. I'm glad you're not using better techniques, I guess. But I guess that's the interesting question though. Premium, having to pay for premium security features when most people aren't going to pay. Some people will, but it's just like, yeah, that's interesting too. The solution
to not getting scammed is it's not to stop people from being able to communicate with each other. The solution for not getting your crypto stolen from you is by using Time Pays Me, which sets up a second seed phrase. And if the scammers want to up their game and like figure out how to scam you out of 2 seed phrases, well, maybe then you can think of something else that's better than this. But the hack that happened to the Axis coin user the other day, and like the majority of hacks, they would have been saved by a 7-day timer and a second seed phrase set up. And so the unfortunate part is that people are not motivated to care about awesome new inventions like Time Pays Me, which works on Ethereum and on PulseChain. And so now I'm completely flipping the script and I'm changing my strategy. And now I'm going to start paying people to have better security because it's that important. And I think that that's what motivates people is if they have a financial incentive, then they will click 3 extra buttons. And we'll see if I'm right or not.
Yeah, interesting point of the difference. So there's all kinds of different ways for people to protect themselves. At the OS, at the fundamental level, always start with don't click links, make sure your browser update, and don't use Windows. Everybody wants to use Windows, and most people don't do that one. But if you just don't use Windows, literally the exploits made for Windows cannot infect your computer if you do not use Windows. And hey, it's 2024, the Macs are available. I know learning curve, all this stuff. Talked about it a million times. But anyways, that's like the most underrated thing is like literally removing yourself from that. And
that's way more work though than just setting up a second seed phrase and having a 7-day timer on your crypto. The reason why crypto is so insecure is because if somebody has your primary seed phrase, they can move your crypto immediately. And now it's too late. And they have a bot to move it. So it's going to be gone before you can blink. And so, even if you use a hardware wallet, you could still click, you could still accidentally approve the wrong thing. You could still press the button that you don't understand and lose all your crypto because all your crypto is only secured by 1 password instead of 2. It turns out the solution to not getting your crypto stolen is just as easy as setting up quote unquote a second password. In this case, it's a second seed phrase.
Yeah, those are good points for sure.
But yeah, I don't think anybody's gonna. Well, I mean, there's 1.1 million TVL in Time Pays Me Now. But I think what will really make it take off will be if people get paid to use it. And so you can imagine a system of like airdrops and free claims and like just incentives from all over the place for people to do that. And so for a limited time, I'm doing a free claim where people can drop a fresh wallet address and then magically they might get gifted some Pulse and then be able to go to timepays.me and play around with this new technology. And they might even get airdropped 1 quintillionth of a Matty token, which the SEC will never be able to say has any value because first of all, it's 1 quintillionth of something. So it costs more Pulse to send it than it does, than it's worth. And Funding Gym is the one who created it. So it's secondary sale, if anything, but there's nothing being sold because you're just giving me a fresh wallet address. So how cool is that we can create a list of people who were, motivated to participate in a free claim. And so that's kind of like, that's one of the reasons I wanted to come on today was to encourage more people. We've already had about 400 to 600 people drop a fresh address on my tweet. But yeah, that's the way that people could go about that. And there might be more ways in the future to participate.
Where does 1 quintillionth sit? Where does quintillionth sit on the list of numbers?
So when you think of like, what is 1 ETH, that 1 ETH is, is like 1. And then if you go 18 decimal places deep, then that's a WEI, WEI, which is the smallest unit of an Ethereum. And when Funding Gym set up these 30 different like influencer tokens, they were never meant to have value. And like right now, there's like $10 of liquidity sitting there with 10 tokens. So it's like not a real token in a sense. But he set it up so that there's 18 decimal places in this one. In Bitcoin, there's only like 9 decimal places. So you get 100 million subunits, which are called Satoshis. In the Matty token, I've called the smallest unit a NAN, which stands for not a number.
NANs. Okay. So quintillionth is 18th, the 18th decimal place?
Yes.
Okay. Because I think I think of 5. I was like, it's like the 5th, but you're saying 18th. Wow.
The other thing that we know about like airdrops and like cryptography and all this stuff is like, if somebody were to go buy 1 quintillionth of a Matty token, that wouldn't put them on the same list of users as the users that got it from doing the free claim for setting up their time pays me vault that allows people to get some free practice with being able to undo a hack if you have your second seed phrase set up and all that kind of stuff. So I've kind of rolled this out as like a mystery, like challenge type thing that I've been talking about for some weeks. But this is probably the most that I've said about it in one place.
Okay. And with time pays me, just remind people too, is it, can you do only Pulse, or is it Hex and stuff too, or is it just Pulse?
So it's anything that's been whitelisted, and anything can be whitelisted. Any ERC or PRC20 token, just message me, and we'll add it to the list. Right now, there's like a huge list of tokens that are on there, and on the PulseChain side of things. And then you can, it has a feature where you can time lock and drip tokens to yourself on a weekly basis for however long you want. So that's kind of nice for like DCA people who want to like DCA in and out of stuff. And then you've got the undo a hack, and then you've got like a part where you can pay yourself to complete a goal that you want to be motivated to complete. That's called a behavior lock. So
what is the biggest decision people have when thinking about to use time pays me versus, because if you put tokens there, you're locking them up, you're having the like, I guess I'm going to say 2FA, you can correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like a hardware wallet to me is like 2FA on your coins. This sounds like a protocol that's like a time delay between you can use them, kind of similar, just let's say extra layer of security. But if they're there, you're not getting yield on them somewhere, you're not staking them like with Hex or Pulse or things like that too. Is that where like people have to make a decision, like what part of their bag, if they're going to use the protocol, what part of their bag they put into that versus what they're getting yield on and stuff?
I mean, there is no quote unquote yield. I can, I gifted Lamont Black a set of seed words that has DESI time locked for 20 years, like a 20-year bond. So he's getting yield from Hex out of time pays me, and he can't emergency end stake, and he gets paid every week in DESI. So, people can get creative and build on top of this. I've had like a ton of founders recently of smaller projects coming to me and big projects too, coming to me and saying, hey, how can we lock up our OA supply in time pays me to like prove to the market that we're not going to dump? And, in that case, that's a pretty good use case. So it's whether you want to save yourself from yourself, whether you want to not get hacked. Let's say I like to travel around the world and I want to tell people where I'm going to be. Hey, I'm going to be in Nashville on July 25th to 27th for the Bitcoin conference with a bunch of Hex OGs. Come hang out with us. Right. But, let's say that I don't want to like have my primary seed phrase to my stuff, like on me. I don't want it to be, at my home, right? So I've Shamir'd it using Shamir secret sharing. But yeah, let's say I've got a lot of different wallets. And so the way that time pays me works, you have your primary seed phrase and then you have a recovery seed phrase. And the way that we designed it is that basically I could travel with a signature that can put my vault into panic mode without me having the primary seed phrase or the recovery seed phrase on me. And so there's like all these cool features. I can use time pays me as for inheritance in a way that Gnosis Safe would never work, because I can set a separate primary seed phrase and a secondary seed phrase. And the secondary seed phrase I could give to like the lawyer or like the kids who are inheriting stuff. And then they don't have control of it right away. In a Gnosis Safe, they would have like signing power, but in this case, they don't. And
you could have a DCA to them kind of thing.
Well, yeah, you could set it up that way from the beginning, or there's something built in called a dead man switch, where if your longest time lock expires 1 year after that, the recovery address gets to take control. So it's like
dead person switch.
Yes.
Just kidding, I'm
Yes.
just kidding.
Yeah. Exactly. No
I had to say
discrimination here.
What about panic mode? What happens if I press the panic button?
So in panic mode, then the primary seed phrase can no longer withdraw from the vault
Ever?
ever.
Okay.
So
But the
it gives
recovery
full
seed phrase will
control.
still do it.
Yeah, it gives full control to the secondary seed phrase, because when you hit panic mode, you're basically assuming that like you've been hacked. And but wait, who's going to pay the gas if the hacker already took all your pulse? You can't pay it from there. And sure, we could let the hacker put it into panic mode, but they probably won't do that. And wait, we don't want any wallet to be able to put it into panic mode. Otherwise, like that burns the extra life and like takes away control if this is all happening on the blockchain. Well, Time Pays Me has a special signature in place. And so you can pay the gas from any wallet that has permission, that has generated this signature to, to allow the vault to be placed into panic. So we really, went through all the possibilities and made sure that this would be super useful to people.
And you can send any token there? Sorry, Max.
Yeah. So any ERC or PRC20 token can be sent to the vault address that lives inside the primary seed phrase. And this is all self-custody, by the way. Like you own the smart contract that has that address. Now, here's a plot twist. I can send 1/quintillionth of a Matty token or whatever I want to a vault that hasn't been created yet, because the protocol allows me to know what the vault address will be in the future based on the primary address. So somebody creates a fresh wallet address, I can send them something into their vault that doesn't exist yet. Then I can send them Pulse. Now they can create the vault and claim whatever's in there. So that's another mechanism you might imagine could be used to incentivize people to, to improve their security.
Have you thought about deploying it on Ethereum so the attacker couldn't afford the gas fee to take the money?
So it's already on Ethereum, and
I'm joking.
Gwei is low, but
Gwei is low right now. You want to talk about that? PulseChain, fast, cheaper network. Fast, cheaper. It's still much faster and cheaper. Well, cheaper part right now. Right now, good problem to have though. And PulseChain is not so cheap. Good problem to have. Maybe one day we'll see it.
I mean, vaults were getting expensive on Ethereum. When Gwei is like 100 or 200, it's it might cost you $50 or $100 to set up your wallet, but right now it's less than $10, and of course on PulseChain it's a few cents. I didn't mean to cut you off there, Fast Abdul. What were you saying?
Oh, no problem. I was just going to say that you could send liquidity tokens in there too, probably, because they're just tokens. So if you have liquidity pairs on PulseX or Flux, etc., you could send those to Time Pays Me. They're ERC20 tokens, and you should be able to move them on and off.
It's got to be whitelisted, right, Manny?
Yeah. And
okay.
Other smart people have put that together as you just did, and that's something we're hoping to see as well.
Ah, cool. Because there's lots of game theory there in both. LP positions being valuable, but also LP positions can hide things if done correctly. I won't get into that today. There's some interesting ideas anyway.
Cool. To everyone on GoRealDeFi.com, learn to earn. A lot of great playlists and resources here. But for security, click that one. It's got a list of 61 videos. Did Security Week with Ben about 8 months ago or so. And every time this stream also will be added to it as well. And it's got a bunch of different topics. It's got stuff, my thoughts, commentary on VPNs, and it's got hardware wallet stuff, and it's got Windows versus Mac versus all that, even validator security, and some pretty interesting topics like how websites actually get hacked, like how does it work, VPN, all that stuff too. So just anyone's interested in deep diving, got a lot of content there, hours and hours. Go Real DeFi, learn to earn, and then click security, and that'll take you to the playlist on the channel.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah. So, two fucks? Should we two two fucks around a little bit?
Sure. Yeah, you bet. Just one last thing I want to drop on the Telegram thing, which is, the reason that I did the costume change is it's really easy for people to spoof an identity on Telegram, also Twitter and other places. It's pretty easy for somebody to steal your picture. Like I could make a Maddie Ellen Telegram or Twitter profile in 5 minutes, right? Of copy paste the picture. So when you get a DM from somebody that you think you know, make sure you know them. Click on that person's profile and see if things like do the groups that you share with them match up, right? Like on Telegram, I can click on either your profiles and I can see I share 20 plus, sometimes 50 or even 100 plus groups with you. And that's, that adds some confidence for me. If I don't share any groups with somebody who's a known contact from, let's say, the PulseChain, but they're not in a single room free, that's a scam all the time, right? So things like that, I think it's important for people to understand that, pretty easy to pretend to be somebody you're not. And be nervous about everything, but like especially, personal contacts of any type. Make sure it is the person you think you're talking to. It's not a given. I have DMs from every person you could think of, right up to Richard Hart, that were not that person.
That's one thing I can say on that too, that I talked about with Axis is, so just talking about make sure it's that person. One thing I did before when there was a Hedron scam going on around when Acosta launched, it was very clever actually. They started a conversation, very innocent, tried to be Alex, the founder of Hedron, impersonated him, started a conversation about a month before they actually wanted to talk to me about clicking on scam link and stuff. So they already established conversation history. So be careful with that. You may have a conversation history with the person who is impersonating someone else. And then they want me to click on this link to amalgamate my funds or whatever, whatever scam language is going on. And then I was like, this, like the whole context, again, security person, whole context makes sense. I have message history. This sounds like something that may be a new feature or whatever. I'm a little suspicious though. And I'm like, hey, because especially if someone's, if you can message them on another platform, I was like, hey, I just sent you a message on Twitter. Write me back real quick. And of course they're like, oh, blah. It just fell apart from there. So that's, if you have another form of communication, always try to use two forms of communication, 2FC. There you go, 2FC to like verify the other person.
Yeah, I like it. Cool.
Wait, are you not fast, Abdul?
I'm not fast, Abdul. No.
Okay, I just wanted to be clear because you look differently, but not too much different. Not too much.
It's that easy, Max. It's that easy.
Well, you nailed it, man. Fox has Fox has a question for Maddie here. If the scammer's bot instantly drains the wallet, will panic mode help?
Yes, absolutely. Everything that is in the vaults is protected as long as you don't give up the second seed phrase. So this is your chance, to undo a hack. You only get one extra life though. So for example, when I read off the seed words to my $10,000, there was sitting in a Time Pays Me vault. People could go and play around with whatever was liquid in the primary address. Sticker guy went in and staked 50 Pulse for 55 years. That scammer, just kidding, he's my friend. But yeah, but the $10,000 I was able to recover. But then I migrated it to another, basically to a fresh instance of Time Pays Me, because you only have one extra life in this case. And so that's important to keep in mind. Like when your second seed phrase swoops in and saves the day, now that's become more of a hot wallet situation, even if you're using a hardware device, which you should. But again, it goes back to this idea that even using a hardware device, like when I buy Hex, eHex on cow.fi, it's using a special protocol that is gas efficient. And my Trezor is just saying, I don't know what this is. Hopefully you do. Like, that's the message that pops up. And I'm like, I don't know. And but I'm using segmented wallets, and I'm making sure that, that I mitigate that risk. But in general, as RHMax described with Axis Live the other day, the scammers, they're going to get more and more sophisticated. And every time they steal $1 million, now they have $1 million more of resources to get more advanced at scamming. So reality is going to be kind of imperceivable from scams here soon, and that's why it can be so helpful to have that second seed phrase set up.
I like it.
Wow. So Fast Abdul's back. He's moved into the forest.
It's the real Fast. It's good, guys. You're safe. Everything's fine.
The 2 fucks forest. If a tree falls in the forest, does anyone give 2 fucks?
We give more.
Yeah. What do you, any updates? Well, first, real quick, Maddie, on your product, is it everything is launched? Is there any new features or otherwise coming, or is everything just set? You're just kind of onboarding.
So there's an audit that's been completed. Time Pays Me is a finished product. There's also a finished product in the free claim that's going on. And then there's also a finished product in being able to sacrifice. And the rules are you get nothing and you're sacrificing for the freedom to sign, like signing a transaction. And then you get to be on a list of people that, like has proven that they care about the freedom to sign. And just like Richard's sacrifices were real sacrifices and nobody had any expectations, but people wanted to be at the top of the list there. So that's pinned to my Twitter if people want to learn more about that. But I also just wanted to say how valuable it is what you guys were talking about just earlier on this show with the Telegram security. I really dig it. So thank you for educating people on that.
Oh, no problem, Maddie. Thank you.
Yeah, Fast is. We had a really good conversation. We had to cut short on yield farming last time Fast was on as well. Which he just shows up. He's like, we have a stream, and I think he's going to talk about one thing, and then he makes it very, very, very not that you're underrated, Fast, but every once in a while you're like, wow, that was like even more impactful than it could have been if someone else said it. So, anyways, touche on that.
Nice, man.
So don't mess it up now with 2 fucks. Keep it going. Keep it going. What's the latest there?
We're done with that. No, we don't need to. Okay, 2 fucks is pretty much done. There's roughly 24 hours left on the sacrifice. We got 1 day, 2 hours. The audits are back. The protocol is being deployed. There's about a week warm up period for things to, all the APRs to show up properly and stuff like that. But yeah, we've pretty much done it. So people may choose to sacrifice if they want to, but regardless, the protocol is imminent, which is pretty exciting. We're happy about that. Just quick history: it's a fork of Convex or a finance for the PulseChain. It works on top of the Flux exchange, which is a fork of Balancer V2. It's a pretty big deal. I think it's going to have a lot of people using it. Mostly for the potential 2.5 times yield boost on top of what you'd be getting on the Flux exchange potentially, but also for the extra voting power and future bribes with our upcoming bribery protocol. So pretty cool. You guys can check it out. Come to our Telegram room. If you choose to sacrifice, please read all the appropriate disclaimers and, our political statement that you may or may not agree with. But regardless, the protocol will be there. People can use it. They don't have to sacrifice to use the protocol. They can just move their LP positions over from the Flux exchange with 2 clicks. You don't have to unravel everything. It's just unstake your LP token on the Flux front end, and then you restake your LP token on the 2 Flux front end. And then you're going to get the boost from our prime Flux that's locked inside the protocol immediately. So it's that simple. You're not locked in. It's just 2 clicks and see if it makes you more money, and you can decide what to do from there. So I'm pretty excited to have that, right before the Pulse conference. So yeah, glad that worked out. Yeah.
Speaking of that, great. We segue too into PulseChain conference. Yeah. What's going on there? I know we've got the schedule out and stuff now too, but is this PulseChain? This is birthday weekend of PulseChain. It's almost strategically timed in that way.
Yeah, you're not supposed to share your birthday on Telegram, but like PulseChain's birthday is supposed to be widely known, and so we got it coming up this weekend here. Tons of speakers. we saw Richard tweet out about it, which is pretty incredible because, you know, he doesn't read the internet. So
Yeah, funny how that works.
yeah, and this is kind of an early final version. I've since added a number of people, including both of you. Apologies for not for having overwritten you there. So
No
we've
worries.
got RHMax will speak in the second hour of day 4, the big birthday day on Monday, and then we got Fast Abdul. We're gonna have you on the panel, panel 3 on Saturday. That's the second hour there.
Score.
And yeah, there's just, you know, there's so many YouTubers. There are 220 YouTubers in our space. And so it's been a mad dash to get everybody's schedule nailed down. And I'm just like so excited to have this 4-night event, 6 hours each night. And everybody gets to come on and speak their mind about PulseChain.
What is the most exciting? I know we saw Richard said that he wouldn't be speaking live, but we all hope we get some kind of hostage video, some sort of. I've suggested a Mother's Day video. If nothing else, we got a Christmas last time. You know, this is Mother's Day's on the 12th. So, what do you think we're gonna? Any speculation? What do you think we're gonna get this time?
Richard said he's not speaking this time. It seems like he'll keep tweeting, you know, for freedom and stuff. And getting a pre-recorded video from him, that'd be pretty cool. We have BitBoy doing an hour of stand-up, you know, on one of the days. But I also want to draw your attention to the fact that the Fire Whale, also called Solid Hex, will be doing his first voice appearance of all time live on day 3. So that's going to be pretty exciting. And then we've got Aubrey de Grey, who's going to drop some big news on Saturday. And so there's, and you know, of course, like all of the every person who's on the schedule, it represents a YouTuber that has hundreds of people that watch them. So it's really a big deal for us to have this type of community and be real DeFi and everything.
Nice. Who's Audrey de Grey, you said?
RHMax, I'll let you answer that one.
How dare you? Yes. Aubrey de Grey, famous for formerly Sins Foundation, now the LEVF Foundation, levf.org, I'm going to say. And it's just for longevity research. And,
right. Okay.
One of the leaders in the industry.
Guy with the beard? Big beard?
Yes.
Guy with the beard.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I know the guy. Okay. Yeah, he's famous.
Yeah.
You got it.
There we go. Yeah, there we go. Aubrey de Grey.
Yeah.
He's been on. I did a couple interviews. I tried to every few months. I try to reach out to him and ask him if he wants to come on because he's very interesting. Not, you know, if you like longevity stuff, but also now that we have AI, and I've been like, you know, going hard into AI lately. I did a whole AI week and series and training and stuff like that. And I briefly mentioned to him before I went hard into it. I asked him about AI and stuff, and he's like, "Yeah, actually, that's an interesting piece, and that maybe that could help with longevity." And now that I've like immersed myself into it, I'm excited to have another conversation with him at some point and really get into the AI part of it too, because that's something that you know, I don't think maybe it hasn't been factored into the whole timeline for things, and hopefully, you know, that what we hope that if you believe in that there's progress to be made there and all that stuff, that it's maybe could speed it up a lot faster and we all live forever and longer and all the joy, all that stuff too.
Yeah.
Yes, Ken. He has the perfect beard to pull off living a long time. I do like it. Awesome.
Yeah. You know, the diseases of aging, it's not just about living forever, but it's about having a longer health span. And if, you know, if people were able to be so healthy in their older years as they are in their youth, then that would be a pretty big win for everybody. And it might even get us past like all these corrupt healthcare systems that have the wrong incentives in place. So
don't hit them with the rational approach to curing aging. Got to hit them with the whimsical view. They're like, oh yeah, that's, and actually
dictators live forever.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I did me and Kincaid Honey did a whole I did like a whole clip series of like all the myths about curing aging and stuff. But yeah, eventually, if you actually dig into it, you're like, to me, you know, having like engineering type mindset, it's like, wow, just like maintenance, that kind of thing. If you're able to get the tech so good where you're just maintaining yourself, I mean, all the pieces kind of fall together. When I first started learning about it, it's very interesting. PM says Aubrey looks like Maddie's dad.
A little bit.
A little bit, you know, if you
my dad looks a lot like me. Like at some point I'm going to get him in the DeLorean and make like a futuristic video.
Well, that'd be cool.
That would be, like, if you could do like a time lapse, like merging time lapse deal, that would be interesting.
Hex is $10, guys, you know, and it looks like me, but an older me.
Oh, nice.
I want to see that promo video. That sounds fun. Okay. Gents, what we got to look forward to? Like what's going on for PulseChain, and I love talking to the builders in the community and seeing what you guys are working on. And of course, we covered a lot about security, but PulseChain in general. I haven't did a stream for a few days, so I think it would give everyone an update on like what is just what do you see that's going on? Good, bad, ugly? What's interesting? What do you guys see going on in the community?
I see a lot of teamwork happening, some behind the scenes and some publicly. Just for example, like there's like you mentioned the Solid X whale that's going to be speaking at the conference. Like the Solid, they're making a Solid index, which is like the Axis token, the Fire token, the Nope token, and the Solid X token are all going to be in one LP pair on the Fux exchange. And they're just waiting for 2Fux to launch so they can properly incentivize that pool. And then that pool will be there. I think that'll, and that's not secret information, but probably not very many people picked it up. Stuff like that, where people are actively integrating their protocols or their tokens via either like LP or actual, connecting in protocols is pretty cool, right? So, and even how like 2Fux is built on top of the Fux exchange, like, well, like we're separate teams, completely separate, but, we've interacted with those guys to make sure that it was safe for the users. That was the big thing. That was their big thing, is like, show us your code, make sure it's safe before we give you, access to do this thing. So those kind of integrations where teams are working together to make stronger protocols and tokens on the Pulse chain, like that's a thing, and it's happening a lot. And it's not just these communities. There's other communities that are also pushing together. So I like it.
Awesome. What about you, Maddie? What do you see that's you think is worth calling out?
I mean, teamwork makes the dream work. Lots of teams try to like put out new stuff around the time of these twice yearly conferences. But then, don't forget, everybody in crypto is on the same team. So all of our friends over in Ethereum land that are getting an ETF approved in August, how cool would that be? So yeah, like lots of things happening that are really cool in crypto right now.
Yeah, we all win with something like that for sure. That would be that'd be good.
Licking my lips for that ETF approval. We get it this year, especially in August, man. That'd be amazing.
Win PulseChain ETF.
Yeah.
Well, let us do a 10,000X first fast. We got to do some X's first. 10,000. Some people happy with the 10X. Let's do 100X, 1,000X, 10,000, 100,000. We can dream, can't we? We can dream.
Sure.
The one thing I'll just say this before we wrap up too, I kind of alluded to did it in the intro, but the permeable protocols I've been very interested in recently. And again, if anyone wants to learn about them, I tweeted about it, for the past couple of weeks, and just a super new, interesting tech that I hope is going to lock up a lot of value on PulseChain. And the team behind it seems really cool. I've known them for a long time too. A lot of the Icosa Hedron guys and stuff, and that's really cool. And this Friday, if you're an Icosa fan, iBurn is launching. That's going to, there's a lot of things going on with it, but hopefully we might see a pegging of Icosa on Hex, PulseChain, and Icosa on Ethereum. That'd be cool. It might even make, depending on the protocol usage and if it's successful and stuff or not, it may even make Icosa deflationary, like even more, like go in that direction. And if you've seen the last charts with GIF and PGIF and stuff of the experiment they've been running with these type of tokenomics and stuff, so far so good. No expectations or promises or otherwise from the team or anyone else, but boy, I hope this becomes like a really cool, widely adopted thing. I hope it's successful, and again, just creating value on PulseChain. playing healthy games. I really like to see people doing stuff like that. So this Friday, iBurn's launching. That's what's going on for me right now. I'm very excited about that this week.
If they can pull that off, the price of Hex would be, that would make a big difference. Because if they hit the pegging, meaning that you can arbitrage Hex by making a 555 stake and selling it to the ICOSA contract, then more people are going to make 15-year stakes, right? And then sell them to the ICOSA contract, but it's still a 15-year stake and it's still taking Hex off the market for 15 years. So if they can get that started again, that would be a very, very excited time.
Sounds like you've been following it. It's almost like some of the ICOSA Hedron, all these things seem to be all these things built, all the derivatives and otherwise. I know it's refreshing to see things that are good for Hex again. I mean, not against anyone building any project out there, but I just, every time I see something that's like even a derivative of Hex, I'm like, man, that's awesome to see that. Hopefully we can keep funneling that value back into the premier store value on PulseChain. Hex.com, baby.
Yeah.
Hex.com.
Cool. Do we have is Alex from Hedron speaking this weekend, Maddie, by chance?
I have not heard back from him. So the more teamwork that can make the dream work, the better. We've had other people that have suggested people and gotten in touch with them, and they've been added. So
fair enough. Maybe we can all reach out. Everybody DM Alex right now. Ask
the real one.
That'd be good.
Yeah, the real one. Yeah, make sure not the one that asks you to click any links.
Yeah, not the validate your wallet guy.
Amalgamate your funds. That's what it was. Amalgamate your funds. Looking back at the time, I was like, "Is this like a new thing?" Because ICOSA was launching. Maybe it is like this new thing, and now it sounds
amalgamate,
silly.
Man.
Amalgamate. Yeah, it's like I had to look it up. I'm like, "What the fuck does that even mean?" For a minute. Like, nobody says that. But I hope to see Alex. If not, it sounds bullish to me. I'm taking it as, hey, heads down. It's somebody says Magic Beard working on some cool stuff, and hopefully get those Hedron upgrades this year. And boy, this ecosystem, I love it. All right, guys, where can people? Maddie's got his x.com link in there as well. But where can people find out more about you and your stuff and your conference and all that stuff, man?
Yeah. So the conference is x.com/PulseChainConf or PulseChainConference.com. I'm Matty, Mati, all in on everything.
Is it all in or Allen? I hear that people say that all the time. I always say all in, but do you have a preference?
I go by both.
Okay.
I've been called worse.
That's the confusion. That's what you're doing. I see. Everyone's like, I don't know which ones. It'll be the forever question, but the answer is both. Okay. Gotcha.
That's right.
Awesome. Fast Abdul?
So I can be found on Twitter at FastAbdul, exactly as it appears on the screen now. So check me out there. But the best place to come to is the 2Fucks Telegram room. It's a complex protocol. We can explain it to you there. 2phux.io, and there's links to the Telegram there. There's links to Twitter there. So yeah, go to the website, check it out, come to the Telegram, talk to us. I'm available.
Awesome. All right, everyone. That's all we got for you today. Appreciate you two gentlemen joining me. It's good to get back in the swing of things. Like I said, I took a few days off after streaming like every day. I think I took 2 days off in like 6 weeks before I took 6 days off just now. So that was a local top. Maybe the top. Maybe I topped out on that. But yeah, it's I'm excited to be on this. On Monday. I think me and Axis have to stream early in the day, and then the PulseChain conference later in the afternoon, my time at least. So we'll get some more content going. Plenty of stuff. I've actually been clipping other streams for the last few days too. There's a lot of good content going on out there. So everyone, keep it up. This place is better than it seems from time to time. You gotta look at what's actually going on. So, all right, that's all we got for you all today. Scivive and 5555. We are out.
Peace, guys.
Peace.